the dub, but man, he did leave with the respect of the Santino brothers fans here. Folks, let's give another big round of applause for all the action we've seen so far tonight. But I said so far, didn't say all night. That means we have even more for you. The biggest night so far of Santino brothers up all night. And we keep it going with another barn burner for you. Ladies and gentlemen, the following match is scheduled for one fall. Accompanied to the ring by Lex Ford. He comes to us straight from the wrestling mat, standing at 5'7" and weighing in at 170 pounds. He is the king of the takedown, Alonzo Alvarez. And his opponents. He comes to us from the town of Halloween, weighing in at 13 black cats and standing 6 feet under. She is the Pumpkin Queen, Sage Sin.
Pumpkin Queen, Pumpkin Queen, Pumpkin Queen, Pumpkin Queen.
The Santino brothers faithful cheering along the Pumpkin Queen right off the bat as Alonzo taking shots at the face paint of Sage Sin. As Lex Ford on the outside antagonizing, and you gotta wonder if this is a smart move, antagonizing someone as dangerous as the Pumpkin Queen. This is...
Let's go, Sage! Let's go, Sage! Let's go, Sage! Let's go, Sage!
And folks, you can keep your Game of Thrones. This is the royalty battle I want to see. The King of the Takedown versus the Pumpkin Queen as they square off in the ring. And are they going to lock up? Here it is. Alonzo already playing the mind games. As the Pumpkin Queen spits in the face of Alonzo Alvarez, heading out to the ringside. Alonzo trying to get some advice from Lex Ford, a man who's put together a lot of wins with his clients. As Alonzo, rear waist lock, looking to take things to the mat and take advantage of that superior wrestling skill he has, but Sage Sin has been around.
Get her up. She put her paint on my face.
As Alonzo looking to go to the ref, hoping that the ref will help him out here, using the ropes to try to get some reprieve from the attack before it even really starts here. Sage Sin. Sage Sin not wanting to be taken lightly, goes straight for that headlock and shows that as much as Sage tries to hold on to Alonzo, Alonzo finds a way to get to the ropes to break things up. And you have to wonder if maybe Alonzo is getting a little worried here about what Sage Sin might be able to do here in the ring against him. But now he, tit for tat, goes for a headlock of his own, but unlike Alonzo Alvarez, Sage Sin fights through, gets the reversal, puts the headlock of her own, and takes him down to the mat. Now, if he is the king of the takedown, this is the kingdom of Alonzo. Sage Sin is invading the Pumpkin Queen. going for that armbar, keeping him away from that safety of the ropes, working the arm, driving him face first and pulling back the fingers, pulling back the hand, biting at the fingers. And right about now, Alonzo has to be wondering if maybe he poked the wrong bear, because the Pumpkin Queen is ready to fight, claw, bite, and kill in this match against the king of the takedown. Now Alonzo grabbing the fingers, and say what you will about biting the fingers. If you're someone like Alonzo who uses those wrestling skills, if your fingers don't work, a lot of that offense is no longer going to be effective. But Alonzo reverses the waist lock, gets behind Sage Sin, and now Sage Sin backs him up into the corner. She throws in the elbow, Irish whip across the ring. Alonzo goes back first into the turnbuckle. As Sage hits that big running splash and sends him running again. Falling down, collapsing to his knees. Sage Sin pushing him back up, driving her hands into the throat and the jaw, and Alonzo just seems to be knocked silly. If Alonzo didn't know he was in a fight with a veteran, he does now, as he grabs the referee and looks forward on the outside, We're trying to get a fair fight. We're trying to see some real winners here, but Alonzo using every advantage he can get as he locks the arm around the rope. And just as Sage Sin used her teeth to get an advantage on the fingers, Alonzo now using the rope to take out that shoulder, driving the knee into Sage Sin's shoulder. And this may be causing some pretty big problems. And right now, Alonzo Alvarez mocking the damage he's doing to the arm. And Sage Sin right about now slumped in the corner as Alonzo Alvarez mocks and keeps working that arm. And folks, I don't care how tough you are. I don't care how long you've been in the ring. If you have your wing clipped, you're in trouble against a mat technician like Alonzo Alvarez. But no matter what's been done to the arm, Sage Sin still has the fight of a champion, kicking out at one. But it just leads to Alonzo driving that elbow, driving those arms into the shoulder, driving that knee into the shoulder, as Lex Ford on the outside mocks and antagonizes and teases, makes his presence known. And now, Sage Sin getting the foot up, locking it in, bringing him over to the tarantula leg hold. And these ropes becoming quite a difference maker in this match. And the fans love the Pumpkin Queen. But will their admiration be enough going back to that arm? And I have to imagine that the tendons and the ligaments and the bone are starting to wear as Alonzo continues to stomp away on that arm. And I don't care who you are or how tough you are. The human body is made of flesh and bone, and that arm has to be giving out. That arm has to be getting weak. As Alonzo high fives Lex Ford on the outside. But feeling the power of the Santino brothers, Sage fights back, claws back, the arm again, but she will not be denied. Sage Sin fighting back from the darkest pits of hell as she fights back against Alonzo to reclaim her land of the Pumpkin Queen. The king of the takedown just driving that knee right into the midsection. Again, pillar to post, and this ring just doesn't seem to be big enough for these two. But Sage Sin thinking quick, going over, and hits a pumpkin smasher into the middle of the turnbuckle. Trick or treat, she screams, and Alonzo tries to get out of the way, but he's just not fast enough.
Trick or treat. Trick or treat.
And it's quite the trick for Alonzo, but quite the treat for the people of Santino Brothers. But it wasn't quite enough as Alonzo now calling to Lex Ford as Lex Ford gives him that bling. But the bling taken away by Scarlett. Scarlett wants a fair fight, and so do the people of the Santino Brothers as she reprimands Lex Ford. But Lex Ford still finding a way to be involved. That cocky Lex Ford getting his grubby little fingers into this match, cheering along as Alonzo still working that arm, giving some words to the people at ringside, bringing that knee all the way up and then all the way down, and as he goes for the pin, Alonzo driving his hand into the face of Sage Sin. But the people standing beside Sage, cheering for her as she fights against not one but two people. As Alonzo whips reversal, grabs Northern Lights suplex on the mat technician. Sage going against the ropes again. Hits another pumpkin smasher. And we get another treat, pumpkin smasher to the face of the mat technician. She goes for the pin. And Alonzo, say you want about his methods, say what you want about the way he conducts business, but the man is fighting back against some big moves with another arm takedown, wrenching the arm again, and right about now, Sage has to be thinking long term. Sage has to be thinking about more than the match. She has to be wondering right now if maybe it's better to live to fight another day. As Alonzo going down to ringside, and every seat at Santino Brothers is a front row seat. As he goes for the chair. No, not like this. Alonzo doesn't need to do this. He opens up the chair. No, not like this. Not against Sage Sin. This is reprehensible. I can't believe this. Scarlett saving the career of Sage Sin. But this time Sage Sin, Lex Ford going against his own man. She goes. As Sage Sin almost gets the win there. But now she rolls him up. She hooks the legs. Could this be it? And Sage Sin with the win. Sage Sin with the win. Sage Sin with the win. And your winner, Sage Sin. Standing with the winner, Sage Sin. You didn't beat just one person, you beat two people in a lot of ways. And you took a lot of damage on that arm, but I gotta ask you, as what everyone else is thinking after a couple of wins, what is next for the Pumpkin Queen?
Am I supposed to be scared of any of these challengers? No! They will learn to fear the Pumpkin Queen.
Fear the queen! Fear the queen! Fear the queen!
You heard it here, folks. Sage Sin, whether or not she's double teamed or whether or not she's one-on-one, she is here for wins. She's not scared of anybody. Let's give another round of applause to Sage Sin. Now, folks, we keep this party rolling on as we continue with our next match.